Hi everybody, and welcome to Garden Style. So as most of you know, I host the Gardenstylenwest channel here on YouTube, but I also own my own nursery and garden center. And I haven't been in touch with you folks for a while, just due to the fact that we came off of January with the Home and Garden Show in Tacoma, and we were super busy just getting ready for spring. In fact, by February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, I have a florist shop in my garden center as well. We were gearing up for that, and it was hugely successful, which I'm happy to announce. But after that, we ended up taking so many deliveries and getting so busy just before this pandemic hit that I just have not had time to get in front of you guys. But I felt today it was really important that I get in front of you and get back in touch, as I have not given up on you, and I definitely haven't given up on our channel. And what inspired me mostly was the fact that I have had so many customers coming into our store, especially in the last 2 to 3 weeks, thanking me for staying open. So today I was going to talk a little bit about nurseries and garden centers, especially at this point in time when a lot of us are locked down in our homes, sheltering at home basically. We've got the kids at home because schools are closed, and what else is there to do but to get out in your garden? And I wanted to talk a little bit about what makes your garden centers an essential business. Your garden centers are considered essential. And what does that mean exactly? Well, stay tuned and I'll fill you in. So what does make a garden center essential? Well, back in World War I and World War II, when all the efforts were going into the war at that time, as you know, a lot of factories were asked to start facilitating supplies for airplane seats, airplane seat covers, parts, that kind of thing. Doing things that factories wouldn't normally do. Well, this day and age, we're fighting a new war, a secret enemy, a hidden enemy that we can't see, but we can certainly feel it around us. And it's certainly touched a lot of people around us. And basically has made a lot of us very scared. So I wanted to address that a little bit today, as I have found out to my surprise that a lot of people were not aware as to why garden centers were considered an essential business. So I'm here to kind of explain that for you. Your local garden centers were there during World War I and World War II to produce vegetables and supplies for just about everybody, so they could plant what they were calling back then victory gardens. Your victory gardens became very popular during World War I and World War II, as it took a lot of strain off the very strained food supply at that time. Now, while we don't really have a strain on our food supply now, during this third war that we're going up against as far as fighting the invisible enemy, but we do have a lot of time in our hands. We're stuck at home. We're finding lots of empty shelves in the grocery stores, and I honestly believe that this is what has started the veggie panic buying that we have experienced in our own nursery. Now, we decided to stay open. A lot of nurseries have not. They've decided to go ahead and close, and that's totally their decision for their employees' safety as well as their own, or they're just in an area where they just weren't getting a lot of business. But in my case, where I live, I'm kind of out in the rural area outside of Seattle, and I felt it necessary that we do stay open, as we have a lot of local farmers and low-income families that visit our nursery on a daily basis. And summertime is their time to start harvesting vegetables and fruits to sustain themselves throughout the winter. And that was a service that I felt was extremely important to keep offering, so we stayed open. Now, mind you, we definitely have traffic control inside of our stores, and yes, we're definitely sanitary and clean in order to meet the CDC standards currently, and we'll only allow 2 customers inside of our store at a time. Social distancing. whole new vocabulary that we're all learning at this point in time. But I wanted to explain the essential business as far as nurseries and your local garden centers go, because that's exactly what we do. We provide you with an organic, clean, healthy way of producing your own food during the summer. At least that way you know where it came from. But most importantly, what I think gardening is offering a lot of us right now is a mental reprieve from all the news and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, just all this information that's coming at us, because I know I've been guilty too of sitting on my sofa and getting sucked into all of it, and it literally sucks you in to a point where you're over it and you need to get outside. So here in the Northwest, we were blessed with about 60-degree days for about a week before last. But lately, we've had a lot of rain, a lot of wind. In fact, today I'm kind of watching the weather real closely, so I'm not getting rained on myself. So a lot of us have been trapped inside. But I'll be honest with you, it hasn't stopped the traffic from coming into the nursery to buy up their veggies. So for us, it's been kind of an unprecedented time in the nursery business, the growing business. It's something we have never seen before. It's an actual phenomenon we've never seen before. Usually our peak time in the season is in the month of May. And currently we're seeing numbers we are getting in March that we shouldn't be seeing until May, which just tells me we have something very unusual happening. And what's really unusual is the sudden interest in gardening, which I'm thrilled about. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see that lots of folks are coming in and they're learning for the first time how to plant their first veggie bed as well as flower beds. But what a fabulous time to be getting outside. We actually have time to spend in our yards and learn a little bit about gardening. And for those of us who have been doing it for a long time, we can sit here and actually teach the new folks how to get out in the yard and get their hands dirty. This is the one time you actually have permission to get your hands dirty and get in the soil. Not only does this help ground us and pull us away from all the news that's going on around us right now, but it gets you outside into the fresh air, you get back in touch with nature, and you actually get an opportunity to grow and nurture something. And most importantly, by the end of the summer, when you start harvesting all those fabulous vegetables from your garden, you're going to never ever want to go back to store-bought food. Why is that? It just tastes better. And for some reason, when you grow it yourself and you see how successful you've been in the garden, for some reason, it's just like eating out when you're camping. Everything just seems to taste better. So not only does it taste better, it's better for you. Not only organically, but you also know where it came from. You know it's pesticide free, no one has touched it but yourself, and that in and of itself is an extra comfort. So I fully expect over the next couple of months for there to be a new rage on learning how to can foods, how to freeze them, and how to store them for the winter time. And I certainly hope to touch on that. I want to grab a couple of experts that I know come into my store on a regular basis and start hitting them up for tips and clues as to how to store your food during the fall and the winter. This is not only going to cut down on your costs as far as food goes, but it's definitely healthier for you. And I think more and more of us are starting to get back to basics, learn how to garden, get outside. What else is there to do? And another thing that's super important that I almost forgot is teaching your kids how to garden. I'll tell you what, most of the kids who are younger than I am are whizzes when it comes to technology and figuring things out. I'm usually going to them when I'm trying to figure out some technical things and ask them questions. But now the roles have reversed and they can come to us and learn how to garden, how to get back to basics. And what a fabulous thing to learn how to do during spring and summer, especially when we're locked up at home anyway. Even if you don't have land, even if you're in an apartment, you can still garden. You can put out pots, containers, you can grow vertically up a wall. Whatever it is, it's always better to grow your own food. And I touched on this subject a little bit in my last video when I was going over garden trends for 2020. I talked about how the millennials were already starting to get interested in gardening. I was seeing more and more of them coming into the nursery. Little did I know it was going to explode in front of us, and it literally has. Not only has TP become a hot item, but so have seeds. I have filled my seed rack several times already in the nursery, and we keep bringing in more. So I'm excited about that, and just wanted to talk to you a little bit about essentials as far as businesses go. And at the same time, since you're stuck at home and you can only go out for the essential items, I truly feel vegetables is definitely one of those essential things you should be planting this year in your garden, as well as toilet paper. Let's face it, we've all been going through a little bit of a struggle these last few months, just trying to figure all this out. None of us have ever been through this before, and that includes your garden centers. So we're kind of feeling this out as we go. And one service we have definitely offered through our nursery is pickup and delivery. So for those folks who can't leave their home, we'll bring it to you. For those who are uncomfortable coming into the store, we'll also bring it to you out in the parking lot. You can just put in your order, pick it up, and you're on your way. Lots and lots of your garden centers are starting to go to these types of services. And keep your eyes peeled, as we're already working on our website for an online store for our nursery. This is all new for us. We're used to digging in the dirt, not working with the technical things. But in order to adjust and mold ourselves to the new demands that are sitting in front of us, a lot of us are learning how to do these things to better serve you folks, you as gardeners, you who are stuck at home with nothing to do. So, get out in your yard, get your hands dirty, and let's grow something this year. Meanwhile, take care, stay healthy, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.